Float Your Boat. My name's Lindsay Regg.
I'm Kai Beasley.
I'm Connor Boyle.
So we're going to talk to you a little bit about our process. So we started off with researching about concrete and what makes up concrete, and there's two key components, aggregate and paste. So aggregate is the hard part of concrete, and it's kind of the rocks and the stones, and the paste is what forms the concrete so that you can spread it. So for our project, we learned that we needed an artificial aggregate, such that we use styrofoam, to make the whole concrete less dense than water, such that it would float. We also learned about the strength, but a lot of what we learned came through doing in the process itself.
Okay, so the first thing that we did is we had to cut out a mold. So what we did is we ended up buying some styrofoam and just cutting it out into a male mold. We ended up choosing this kind of three-step process just to make it easier to get out, because first you bring this one out and then pull these in and you can get it out. It was still pretty difficult to get out, which is why there's so many cuts on these, but we're going to ignore that part. So, and then afterwards what we had to do is make the concrete and pour it. So to make the concrete, we would pour the concrete in and then we added water. So for ours, we had a fourth cup of water for every cup we used for concrete. And then we added our aggregate, which was blended styrofoam. So when pouring our mold, we first, on our first pour, we put a plastic covering over the form to make it, again, easier to come out, and so that the concrete wouldn't seep into the mold. And then we let it cure for 2 days because we had Quikrete, which has a faster curing process. So when we were trying to take out the mold, we ran into a problem where, because it was so difficult to get out, that the concrete canoe actually broke. And so we had to do the whole process again, although this time we added a fabric over the mold, again, to just make it easier to get out. And that time it worked fine.
We had our final canoe. I went through sanding it down and testing it. So we filled up my tub with water and just sat the canoe in there to check for any leaks or cracks or any structural issues that we would have. We found that it had a few leaks, so we took some extra concrete and patched it where you can see the water coming through, and that's where you can see these different textured areas, like here and here and here. And that helped a lot with the leaks. We still had one or two after that, but I went over, sanded it again, and then at first we used a water-soluble paint, which obviously didn't work because it's a boat, so all the water, or all the paint came off of it. Then we went and got some spray paint and went over it, which is what's on it now, and that helped with the few leaks that were left. And that's about where the canoe is now. We went on and painted NC State on it just for some look. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Where we are now.
Overall, our boat floated, so we're really happy with that.
We don't need a motor, we don't need a sail, and we don't need no fins or gills, and we don't need a tail. Let's just keep it simple, we'll each get an oar, paddle out to no man's lake and float till we can't no more. Can you canoe on a little boat built for two? Can you canoe? I'll be your captain and your crew.
So if we did this project over, one thing we would change would be to create a larger lip on the edge of the canoe. That way it would float better and we probably could have held more weight. And then advice for incoming students would be that using Quikrete is really effective, even though it is slightly denser than normal concrete, because it only cures in 48 hours. You can do a lot more prototypes and have more tests. Another thing would be just, of course, as you've heard a million times, just to start early. And then what I think would be really good would be to really have fun with the project.
Can you canoe on a little boat built for two? Can you canoe? I'll be your captain and your crew.